Little GMO, you're not a friend of mine. Yeah, I worry about you every time I dine, 'cause they won't put a label on the food I buy. I'm gonna spit it out, shout it out, close them down, GMO. No more, no more GMO, no more GMO, no more GMO, no more GMO.
So, okay, I'm Dr. Laura Chamberlain, and I educate about genetically modified foods, frankenfoods. They're made with mostly genetically modified corn, soybean, sugar beets, canola oil, and cottonseed. And these are the big five. There are a couple others. There's like zucchini and crookneck squash and papaya, but they don't have much of the market yet. So these are genetically modified foods. They create this food in the laboratory. They shoot bacteria, DNA into your food, into your crops. Then they make your food out of this frankenfood, and then you eat it, and then you incorporate the bacteria DNA and all of the things that they have modified, like the creation of pesticides. You incorporate this into your gastrointestinal cells, into the DNA of your cells. And we think now that you would actually start producing pesticides in your gut. We have found levels of pesticides in the blood of fetuses and in the blood of individuals that eat genetically modified foods. This is not good to have a pesticide factory in your gut. So we are really, really concerned about the health effects. We're starting to see an increase in cancers and allergies and liver disease and kidney disease. I just want to give everybody one statistic. In the 1900s, the cancer rate in America was 1 out of 50, and it was mostly elderly people. Now in America, it's 1 out of 2, and that is in all age ranges. Of course, children have a lesser, but all age ranges have seen a massive jump in the cancer rate in America. It is the foods that we eat, it is the toxins. We're killing ourselves, and we don't even know it. We're killing ourselves slowly. And this is an amazing statistic. In 100 years, we went from 1 out of 50 to 1 out of 2. Now, I really highly recommend everybody in America to pay attention to what you're putting in your mouth. Your water must be clean, and that's not bottled water, okay? That's purified water. Avoid processed foods. Eat fruits and vegetables. Make them organic, okay?
No more GMO, little GMO.
So we're here and we're asking for truth in labeling, because Americans do want to know what's in their food. For sure, you have to really know what's going in your mouth. You gotta look on the back of your packages. I have a video show.
Can I get a picture with you?
You're made by Monsanto. You look like the real thing. There's no way I can know.
The genetic contamination is definitely affecting our organic farms. And so many organic farmers are saying that they are not going to be able to grow organic corn, not because they're not trying, not because their soil's not organic, but because of the genetic pollution that is carried by bees and birds and butterflies and the wind. So that is a real problem. The crops, Monsanto and some of the other mega ag businesses have created are destroying our natural genetic variation in America and around the world. Mexico banned GMOs from being planted in Mexico, and they still have had genetic contamination. Mexico has the most varieties of corn in the entire world, and we're completely polluting them with our bacteria, viral DNA, carried DNA for pesticides. This is crazy. When the world really wakes up to this issue, I think we're going to get sued. The other countries of the world are going to sue us for this kind of genetic pollution.
Stole the patent from God now, so even he can't grow. Whoa, whoa. He wants to spit it out, shout it out, close them down, GMO. No more, no more GMO, 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 no more GMO. Gonna tell my grocer to not buy GMO. Tell my friends and neighbors everything they should know. Where they grow you is a secret. It's everywhere you go.
We think if Trader Joe's and Whole Foods would just demand labeling of all genetically modified foods on their products, we think that Americans are smart enough, if they're given the right information, that they will choose otherwise. And that's what we're here trying to get everybody to wake up and pay attention to this issue, because it's not labeled.
Whoa, whoa, threaten every living thing on earth.
Monsanto is a mega corporation. We are right now. They're occupying Chicago down at Wall Street, and they're protesting the rise of the mega corporations in this country. For decades, our government busted up the monopolies. We have antitrust laws in this country, and they're still on the books, and our federal government is not protecting us from the rise of absolute monopolies. Monsanto is becoming an absolute monopoly in the agricultural business, and I recommend that we break them up. We use the power of our antitrust laws and break up that corporation into 10, 15 subsidiaries and release America, free America from the monopolization of our agricultural business. This is really a serious problem. It's the same for Big Pharma. It's the same for many, many of the mega corporations. We don't have to tolerate this. When people have such a huge share of the market that they can buy our politicians, that's called crony capitalism. What we want is to break up these big monopolies and release the small farmers, the small agricultural corporations from the overbearing weight of such large corporations that control such large market shares. And they could do it. The federal government right now could just go in and bust up Monsanto using antitrust laws. And why aren't they doing it? Because Monsanto has so much money that they've purchased our politicians. The politicians now should have little patches on their suits, like NASCAR drivers, saying bought and paid for by Monsanto, bought and paid for by Bank of America, bought and paid for by Pfizer, so that we would know exactly who owns it. In America right now, we have the best democracy that money can buy, meaning we don't have any democracy. Our politicians have been, on the federal level, have been almost completely corrupted. There are few who are not corrupted, but very, very few of them. So that is the story of big corporations in America. Monsanto is one of them, and we have to fight for our organic farmers. So I recommend everybody who really cares about organic foods and organic farmers to join a CSA, go to the farmers markets, buy local and buy from small farmers. These are how the small farms are surviving. So please support your small organic farmer with at your local farmers market, your CSA, and your local first initiatives. Really, really appreciate it.
I'm not too sure. I'm gonna spit it out, shout it out.
I'm going to give you some websites. Organic Consumer Association, the Center for Food Safety. There's a whole consortium of groups that are marching from New York City to Washington, D.C. to demand labeling. The FDA is completely corrupt. I'm a doctor. There are books written about this subject. The FDA has been completely corrupted by Monsanto. They're not protecting our health. So we're demanding that the FDA label these products so we can protect our own health. And I'm Dr. Laura Chamberlain. If you are here in Chicago, you want to join GMO Free Chicago, you can go online and look us up. Just Google us, GMO Free Chicago, and we can get you on a list, and you can come on down and join the education actions that we have all over the city.
No more GMO, no more GMO. Gonna tell my grocer It's not by GMO. Tell my friends and neighbors everything they should know. Where they grow you is a secret. It's everywhere you go. Whoa, whoa. Threaten every living thing on earth. Saw the picture, not too sure. I'm gonna spit it out, shout it out, close them down, GMO. No more GMO.